Hey guys, what are we doing today? We're doing some training with some inert 12 gauge dummy rounds made by Ultimate Arms Gear. Now, I'm gonna cycle through this here for you to see. And just bear in mind guys, whenever you're doing training, even with dummy rounds, always make sure you're pointing your gun in a safe direction. You're not pointing at your neighbors, your family, your friends. Even dummy rounds, always be careful. The golden rules always apply, training or not. So with that said, let's cycle through these bad boys and show you what these things look like. Make sure we're in frame here. There we go. These are the Ultimate Arms Gear 12 gauge dummy rounds. You can see they're just kind of a hollow plastic tube with an end. They come in 5 packs for $10, and I think they're one of the better training products on the market. The big reason, of course, being that they are bright orange. If you do happen to be working, say, with a loaded sling for realism in your training, having those bright orange rounds makes a big difference in not having to worry about accidentally loading a live round. I know a lot of the snap caps on the market are red, but you know what? So are a lot of real shotgun rounds. So I do like these bright orange ones, especially when you are doing something involving live ammunition. And guys, like I said at the beginning, always be super safe when it comes to firearm training indoors. Especially if you're doing, it's unrealistic to train with your shotgun if you have a sling that you're utilizing like this. If you're not putting weight on the sling, the gun's going to react differently and handle differently with that weight. You want to train as realistically as possible, but at the same time you have to do it as safe as possible. Always make sure you're pointed in a safe direction and that you're training safely, because you cannot afford to have an accident. So enough preaching. These things are great. You can load from a sling, you can do combat reloads, you can just run through, speed drills with your magazine. You can load from your side saddle if you have one. You can even put these in your molle vest, belt pouch, your pockets, and practice loading from any different configuration. So the amount of training you can do with this is pretty much up to your own imagination or how you prefer to carry your shotgun. Now, of course, if you're going to be using your sling, don't mix real ammunition with the training ammunition. You're just kind of inviting yourself for disaster. Now, what I'm doing with this here is I'm basically just running some reloading drills while standing using the sling. And it's a great opportunity to do this and practice. Right now, tonight, I'm home alone, so I figured it was a good opportunity to do a little training. And I'm going to try and incorporate this into maybe a little bit of our daily routine and run through this a couple of times a day, maybe in the morning before work or maybe at home before bed. And I think it will be a great addition, because one of the big things I do get is I do get questions from people who say, hey, I really want to train, but ammo's super expensive, or I live really far from the range, or I just don't have the time, I have kids, whatever. This is a great way to train and stay fresh and keep your skills without spending a lot of money or traveling or getting out of the home. So I think they're a great product, and without training you lose skills, you lose speed, you lose your dexterity. All that tends to go the less you use it. So this is a great way. If you can only afford to go shooting once a week, you can use these 2 or 3 times a week in between to keep your speed and your skills up. So they're a great training aid, great way to practice reloading, combat reloads, anything you can think of. And plus, being they are bright orange, are a really safe way to do it, because you can visually see how bright the round is just at a glance. So guys, stay safe, train, and like I said, if you can't get out to the range, look into some products like this to increase your abilities. My only complaint, guys, is these are a little goofy and they do load a little tough, but I'm sure after using them a little bit longer, oh yeah, only 4 go in the tube, that they will kind of break down a little bit and load a little easier. But that's okay. You know, working with something that trains and is realistic, that makes you struggle, is always good. So I hope you guys enjoyed.